Hi there, and today we're looking at how to land a job in 2025 and decoding how recruiters work. And I'll give you and share some insider tips and tricks that will help you land the interview calls and ensure that you're landing that perfect job. So if you're new here, I'm Jabez and I'm the founder of EduSpace. We help students thrive internationally. With over 8 years of experience in EdTech and growing other businesses and being in tech, I've seen firsthand of how and what's impactful, what works on a CV and what doesn't, as well as what can land you the perfect job and what can land you that dream job that you're looking for. So I'm here to help you and guide you and support you and give you the free resources and tips and tricks to ensure that you land that job. Remember, personal branding is your new CV and your LinkedIn is your digital business card. So to give you a glimpse of what's personal branding is the process of establishing yourself as a recognizable and respected figure within your industry. It goes beyond simply listing your qualifications and experience. So it's about actively shaping how others perceive you and your expertise. So your online presence will play a crucial role in this process as it provides a platform to demonstrate your knowledge and engage within your field of interest. So essentially, your personal brand is the narrative you create about your professional self, promoting how you want to be seen, understood, and remembered for free. Today, I'll be breaking down the recruiter process on how they choose the application, how they read the application, how they select the candidate for that particular job. And so we're going to look at strategies and secret tips on how to push you on top of that application list. So first things first, be proactive in your job search. Don't wait until you're unemployed to start searching for jobs, or don't wait until you finish your course to start searching for jobs. Start looking out for jobs in an active manner if you are looking to do a change or if you are looking to go back into job searching. So make sure that you're understanding what is required for the roles that you're going to apply for, but be proactive and not reactive, because once you're unemployed or once you don't have a job in hand, you become desperate. You don't have the luxury of time. You don't have the luxury of finding the right fit. You just end up settling for less, and you end up settling for any job that anyone gives you. And think of applying to jobs as your career insurance. So if you are currently in a job, continuously turn on your LinkedIn open to work, but just for recruiters to see, so that you're able to have connections, build those connections, and when you do get to that point of looking for jobs, it's much easier. And the other thing is, you get to understand what you're worth. I always tell my employees or anyone who's working with me to continuously apply for jobs to see what their worth is in the market, so that you understand your worth in the market and you're able to negotiate better pays or in your current role, or even ask for a promotion. So it allows you to have a constructive discussion and also a growth plan for yourself. If you're someone who's aspiring to grow, then this is a right way for you to understand when is the right time to ask for a promotion, when it's the right time to ask for a pay rise, depending on your skill set, depending on your knowledge, and so on. So this gives you an overall understanding and a perspective, not just about your organization that you're currently working for, but at the same time gives you an outside perspective. And so keep applying for jobs and sit in those interviews, take those interview calls, because you never know when those connections will come in handy. And whilst you're passively looking for jobs and you're seeing what's the requirement in the market for you and the demand for you, also make sure that you stay updated, update your skill sets, sharpen your abilities, and also keep networking so that you build strong relationships, so in future it works out for you, whether it be partnerships, whether it be recruitment, whether it be asking for referrals for a friend, or whatever it is. Those networks will come in handy for you. So go ahead and turn on open to work on LinkedIn just for recruiters to see. Now, the next point is for someone who's being overlooked and you're sending in applications, you're not getting responses, you're not getting that interview call. So here's a secret that recruiters won't often tell you. This is basically summed up in a hiring pyramid. So when you look at the hiring pyramid, you can see where you stand in the process. So a secret that recruiters won't tell you is companies prioritize candidates based on their application source. The first two buckets are the ones that recruiters look at before anything else. And usually this comes even before the job post is live. On the top, you have internal candidates within the department or other departments wanting to transition into that role. This is always the top priority for companies to allow for growth internally. Second, you have the hiring manager's network. This bucket is for people that they've worked with in the past or people in their network, and also people that have reached out to them on LinkedIn. So if you're one of those people that have reached out to them on LinkedIn prior, so you're one step closer to getting that interview call. So the third bucket recruiters are prioritizing is internal referrals. This is anyone inside the company that advocates for the candidate and puts their CV forward above cold applications. Then the last place recruiters are looking for is the cold applications. And this is where 80% of the applications are. So as soon as you send in an application, start networking. Network with people in the organization, find 5 people within the company that you can get in touch with. And so you want to reach out to the recruiter and 4 other people that can probably vouch for you or even advocate for you to ensure that you can push your application into that next level. Now here's an interesting fact. Candidates with referrals are 4 times likely to get an interview, and employee referrals make up to 10% of applications but only account for 40% of hires. So you getting in referrals and being in the middle of the hiring pyramid will get you hired. So push for referrals and push for people who advocate for you so that you can get hired as soon as possible. And now the next point is on how to answer questions in an interview. Now, whenever recruiters are asking you a question or they want an answer for a specific situation, always use the STAR method. And simply the STAR method is situation, task, action, and result. So for situation, you want to set the scene by talking about what challenge you faced and what is the context. And then for task, you want to define the role and what were your responsibilities. And then for action, you want to highlight the steps and what you did specifically to bring out solutions to that problem. And then at the end, for result, you want to end with the outcome and what did you achieve. So quantify your achievements by showing them what you actually achieved by numbers, because words cannot show impact, but numbers can show impact. As humans, we like numbers, and by showing numbers, we can visualize the impact that you've created. Now, if you're one of those candidates that are always questioning if you have the right skills, or if you cannot do the job, or you don't know enough, or you're not able to lead a team, or that you're studying a particular course, and if you have all these excuses in your head and that's stopping you from applying, what I would tell you is stop self-sabotaging yourself and stopping yourself from applying to jobs by looking at the skill sets that's required, by looking at the criteria that's required. Just apply and let the recruiter do the job of selecting you or not selecting you. But what I don't mean is just apply to every job possible. Focus on that one job role specific to your niche and keep applying to whatever job role that comes in with that particular bracket. So if it's in that keywords, if it focuses on, let's say, operations manager, focus on operations manager or data analytics. If it's that, just focus on that particular role and keep applying. And if there's minor changes in the job description, let the recruiter decide if you're best fit or not. Ideally, what you're aiming for is to have a profile that fits 70 to 80% of what they have. So recruiters know that you're never going to get a candidate that's 100% as per their requirements. So they'll always look for someone who's willing to learn and grow within the organization. That will give them the confidence that they can hire this person, they will learn, and in the interviews you're going to be showing them the skill sets that you're able to learn quickly, but at the same time you also have the ability to be able to apply those concepts, to able to adapt to a new culture, to adapt to a new organization, also having the interest and inclination to be wanting to be successful in this field. So show that, let the interviews showcase your interest and your knowledge about these topics so that they're able to push you forward with the knowledge that you have. Because understand this, job search is a repetitive process. So apply, get the feedback from recruiters, and make the changes and apply again. So keep repeating that process until you find the right job. Even if you get rejections, make sure that you learn from those rejections and then keep making the modifications and the changes that's required and keep applying. So once you close that feedback loop, you will be successful. Now, the next big thing we want to talk about is your CV readability and the formatting. So there's three main criteria for this. So understand this, recruiters will spend about 6 seconds on your CV. So how well you grab that attention on that 5 to 10 second period really matters. And recruiters are reading your CV in an F shape. Their eyes naturally flow that F pattern. And so when scanning these resumes, you want to maximize this place by having the most compelling information and the keywords, the top achievements, the action verbs in these key zones. Because the profile summary, the skills section, and the beginning of each experience and bullet point, all this is prime real estate for your resume to look good and hook them to read your entire resume. Studies show that recruiters spend on an average 7.4 seconds per resume. So think about it. If there's 1,000 applications, the only way you're getting them to read your application if it's interesting enough to actually stay on. So keep your resume to 1 page, or if you're above 10 years of experience, then keep your resume to 2 pages and keep it concise as possible. And make sure to use the XYZ formula to quantify your impact. So you want to explain your experiences in this particular format. I accomplished X by the measure Y, and that resulted in Z. Even better, let me give you a particular format or a structure a strategy that can actually help you, which is formulate your sentence in 3 structures, which is action verb as the first one, and then in the middle your task or project that you did, and then the third is your result, which is quantified. This will allow you to formulate a sentence which is crisp and clear, telling the recruiter exactly what you did in that particular role. Remember that using those numbers cuts down on the words significantly, and how you portray your CV in 1 or 2 pages really shows the recruiter how well you can put down and bring down your information and keep things concise for them. And having a result-based and result-oriented CV will get you hired much faster. And for you to understand whether your resume is working for you, you must track your job applications. So by tracking your job applications, you can understand whether you're getting a 2% interview call rate or whether you're getting below a 2%. So if for every 100 job applications that you're sending, if you can get 2 interviews, then you're winning. So continue applying, because job search is a numbers game with quantity. I understand that, but at the same time, make sure to apply, and keep applying. It is a repetitive process, but keep applying to as many jobs as you can, and then follow up and network and engage with people to get that. But what's most important is so that you can track all those applications, because you will, after a particular point, you will lose out on how many applications you've sent across. So use a tracker. I've created a simple tracker for you. You can get the links in the description. So make sure that you use that particular tracker, or even use a tracker that you can set forth for yourself. Go ahead and track all your applications and follow up at least 3 times with the recruiter to understand whether things are moving forward or not, until you actually give up. Now, if you're getting below a 2% interview rate, then you want to start structuring your CV in a better way, and you want to look at how to actually optimize and better your CV with the right way of explaining your experiences and making sure that your CV is concise and clear. Go and check your CV if you're getting below a 2% interview rate. If you're getting above a 2%, forget making changes on your CV. Just apply and apply and apply for jobs. So here's my story as an international student. I applied to 656 jobs. I landed 15 final round interviews and 5 full-time job offers. So I created a new LinkedIn profile, a new email, a new cover letter, a new CV. I had a 6-page CV that I cut down to 1 page, which was a game changer for me. So having that concise information on 1 page really got interview calls. Aim to apply for at least 50 to 100 jobs per week. And by doing that, you will start to see some change. And at the same time, whilst you're doing that, continue to network, continue to speak to people and engage with people in that company. Try to understand the culture and try to understand what sort of organization they are, what sort of work they do, understand the projects that they do, understand the problems that they solve, the products that they sell, the services that they sell. So by doing that, you will understand more about the company and what they're about. So when you go into an interview, you'll really be able to nail down certain points. Even if you haven't really written down notes, you'll still be in a comfortable position to understand and be motivated to actually speak about that company, because you've done your research. And if you don't have any particular research that you've done, it's going to be very difficult for you to crack an interview. So having those good conversations with recruiters and being able to speak to the hiring manager about what they're doing and what good they're doing, and being appreciative of their work, that's always going to help you and give you some brownie points to actually get into the next round. Now, the next big topic is to ensure that your LinkedIn stands out. Now, one of the fundamental things for personal branding is to have a really good portfolio. And the best way to do that is to have a really good LinkedIn. And additionally, if you have portfolios, whether it be having a Behance profile, or having a website for yourself, or even having a GitHub or a Canva portfolio that you've created, that also gives you that additional set of, it's not just a CV, but it gives you additional information apart from what's there on your CV, to put in those pictures, to put in the successful projects and so on, so that recruiters can actually understand more about you and understand who you are as a person. At the end of the day, any company that's recruiting is also trying to get a candidate who is successful, who is driven, who's hardworking. So all these things can be seen in a portfolio, and to see how passionate you are about a particular topic. So you'll be able to portray all your interests and key skills in your portfolio. You don't need to have a section which shows an interest or hobbies that you do in your CV, but in your portfolio you can always add in extra information which will give them some insight. So going into your LinkedIn, you want to make sure that the headline is crisp and clear. Now, what I mean by that is keywords is king. So you don't want to use your LinkedIn profile for just your job title. So go beyond that job title, express what exactly you did in a role, or your biggest achievement, or the numbers that you've achieved, and put in 3 to 5 keywords throughout your LinkedIn profile. So use this particular format for your LinkedIn headline. So value or problem that you solve, and then plus your unique selling point, and then your achievement, and quantify wherever possible and add in those numbers to give that big impact that you can create. Now, the other thing that you want to use LinkedIn for is referral hack. Now, unlocking these hidden referrals is by going into search and type in DM for referral. And there are so many people ready to give out referrals, and there are so many people posting about giving referrals. So search for posts in the past month, and then these are like a gold mine of free referrals. So what you can do is start reaching out to them, ask them for referrals, personalize your outreach, and use this particular template to craft a personalized message. So this will help you in landing that referral. And I don't think anyone can ever say that I don't have a referral. There are so many people out there that's ready to give you referrals. So search for them, search for the right people in the right field, in the right areas of interest, and go ahead and message them. And I'm pretty sure that they're willing to help you out. Now, whilst you're speaking to people and asking for referrals, it's a nice opportunity for you to network and engage with these people, because they could be your potential colleague. So understand, don't just go ahead and ask some vague questions. So once you connect and engage with them with meaningful conversations. Ask them questions like, how would you describe the work culture in the company? How would you typically collaborate on projects? Do you have any tips to or help to stand out in the hiring process? What's one thing that you wish you knew before you joined the company? And then, is there any specific things that the hiring team would ideally focus on when they're in the hiring process? So ask valuable questions that you'll get answers to. Remember, whatever you ask for is what you're going to get answers to. If you don't ask, you will never get. And now the next place that's like a gold mine is basically using the alumni feature on LinkedIn. So go into your university or your school site and search for alumni that are in your dream companies or in the companies that you want to get into. Try to message them and ask them for a referral, because that is a connection that people will always trust someone from their same university. So you have a better chance of someone in the university, or an alumni, or a senior, someone who can help you out. If they can look at you and be like, oh yeah, this person studied at the same university, I'd be willing to refer them. If you can start messaging alumni, that will give you a better chance and a warmer connection, because they're more willing to talk to you because you are from the same university. You have a conversation starter. You're able to tell them that, no, you also studied at my uni, and I'd really like to know how you got into this company. what you should also understand is when you're looking to speak to someone and engage with someone, try to say one or two really good things about them. People like to be praised. So praise them for what they're doing and praise them for what they've done or achieved, and that will give you a better chance of getting a response from them, and not just asking for something. Because the more you just question and you want an answer, they're more likely to ghost you. But when you start praising them, and when you start having a conversation, and when you start having a flow of an interaction with them, they're more likely to engage with you and give you an answer. Now, when you're reaching out to people on LinkedIn, personalize your messages by writing something relatable or to their profile or experience, and then complimenting them or appreciating their achievements, providing them value, or sharing relevant insights or resources. So what you also want to be doing, apart from just outreach, is by also posting on the relevant topics, on the information that you know about or your learnings in this particular field. This gives an understanding to someone about you as a person and what you've done and how you've learned and how you've come this far, and it just increases and helps you in enhancing your professional presence. All right, for better context, understand this: LinkedIn has 310 million active users, and yet only 3 million post weekly. So it's the most underutilized platform, and even though it's like the hangout spot for professionals, and 80% of billionaires are active on LinkedIn. So just think about how many millionaires would be active on LinkedIn. And being active on LinkedIn, if millionaires and billionaires are active on LinkedIn, then obviously there's so much business opportunities and so many people that could hire you. So just think about all the networking possibilities and think about all the opportunities that could bring you if you land that right connection. Now, the one thing many people have issues in is finding contact information of recruiters. So whether it be their email or their LinkedIn, you're not able to message them. So what you could possibly do is download the sales prospecting tools. I'll just put up a list. And then once you get their email, follow up with recruiters with this particular email template. And now the next thing, you want to stop using Easy Apply until you do this. So first, you want to identify the hiring manager. You want to prepare a custom message and then message the recruiter before you go ahead and click Easy Apply. Because think about it like this: 1,000 people are going to apply to jobs using the Easy Apply, and all the 1,000 people that are going to apply, I can show you the back end. This is how it looks. And so you really want to stand out from the crowd when using Easy Apply. So make sure you're identifying the hiring manager, you're preparing your custom message, and then you're messaging the recruiters to push yourself to the top of the hiring list. Now, here are some bonus tips for 2025. Diversify the platforms that you use to apply for jobs. Don't just use LinkedIn. Use Indeed, use Glassdoor, use Monster, use Flex Jobs, and then any other local job sites as well. And a lot of people don't know this, but also use your university career sites. And the next tip, in your CV, please remove Word, Excel, PowerPoint. All these outdated softwares. We're in 2025 when everyone knows how to use it. You don't need that in your CV. It's destroying your chances of getting hired. At the same time, it's taking away space from important information. And then when you use ChatGPT or any AI tools like Gemini or anything, please use it just as a co-pilot and not as a copycat. Don't copy everything from it and copy paste it. Don't plagiarize. Try to understand it. Try to humanize your CV as much as possible. You need to focus yourself on having your CV 80% humanized and 20% on the AI driven or ChatGPT side. So try to bring in as much of information that you can through your own words. And then the last thing is bias proof your application. Focus on professionalism. In today's diverse and inclusive hiring landscape, avoid including any photos or personal details that could introduce unconscious bias. And this could be your age, nationality, race, anything that will show more information than what's required to the recruiter. You want to take it off. So let your skills and your experience speak the language that recruiters want, and let that be the thing that will get you hired, because that's what's going to help you shine and outshine everyone else in that particular company that you're going to work for. And above everything, please take time to apply and apply and apply to jobs as much as possible and learn from that process and optimize after every application and feedback that you get. Do not get stagnant in your job search. It's a very repetitive process. The only thing that will get you across the line is by learning and unlearning the wrong things and learning the good things and optimizing it to fit the requirement and the needs that you need for the job market. And think of your LinkedIn as like a website. It's basically like you doing an SEO for your website. So keep working on key skills and keep working on optimizing your LinkedIn. Gather the right information from LinkedIn to understand if your application is being downloaded, is it being viewed, is it being rejected. So based on the feedback that you're getting, optimize your LinkedIn as well. The same thing you could do for who's viewing your profile. If people are viewing your profile, you can understand from who's viewing your profile, is it optimized for the right people? If you have someone who's recruiting for the next astronaut, maybe that's not your particular job, or it's not your particular field. Now, if those are the people that are landing on your profile, then obviously you want to change it. If you're a data analyst, you want people in that industry to be following on your profile. So optimize your profile for that. And so by doing the right things in the headline, or whether it be your key skills, whether it be your top keywords that you're placing in the right places, it all matters. So it will get you in the eyes of the right people. You want recruiters to also contact you and not just you apply to jobs. You want your LinkedIn to be a lead magnet where whatever that you're doing, you're also able to get people in that industry and experts in that field to contact you and to see and engage with you as well. So network as much as possible as you can, and use LinkedIn as the mainframe networking tool. Pro tip: your LinkedIn headline and your profile picture are the two things that are very important to when you post, when you send a connection requests, when you comment on posts. All these things will showcase and come back to attracting people to your profile. So make sure those two things are solid. So you want an impactful headline, and you also want a profile picture where you're showing 70% of your head and a plain background, so that it can attract the right people into your profile. Hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe.